The rain poured heavily on the streets of Mumbai, blurring the skyline with a curtain of water. In a small, dimly lit apartment on the fifth floor of a crumbling building, 22-year-old Aarav Sharma sat motionless, staring at his cracked phone screen. An email notification blinked with harsh finality. "We regret to inform you that your application has been rejected." It was his sixth rejection in 2 months. He had graduated with honors in mechanical engineering, dreams in his eyes, and a heart full of hope. But dreams, he was starting to realize, don't pay rent. Aarav had grown up in a modest household. His father had passed away when he was 13, and his mother worked day and night as a tailor to make ends meet. He had studied under streetlights, fought hunger with determination, and earned a scholarship through sheer grit. Everyone in his neighborhood had pinned their hopes on him. Now, sitting on the edge of despair, he felt like he was letting everyone down, including himself. Days turned into weeks. Aarav stopped checking emails. He didn't respond to calls. He barely ate. Depression crept in like a shadow, stealing his light inch by inch. His mother, noticing his silence, didn't say much. But one evening, she handed him an old, tattered diary. "This belonged to your father," she said gently. "He wrote in it every day. Maybe it can help you." Curious, Aarav opened the diary. What he found inside were stories, not of success, but of struggle. His father had written about the shame of losing jobs, the pain of seeing his family suffer, the fear of dying young. But every page ended with one sentence: "I will not give up, because they need me to be strong." Aarav clutched the diary to his chest. That night, for the first time in weeks, he cried. Not from pain, but from a strange, budding strength. With renewed energy, Aarav made a decision. If the job world wouldn't take him, he would create his own path. He began by offering basic mechanical repair services in his neighborhood, fixing fans, washing machines, even old scooters. People were skeptical at first, but Aarav worked with integrity, never overcharged and never refused help, even when the pay was little to nothing. Word spread slowly. A tea vendor who got his cartwheels fixed for free told 5 more vendors. Within 2 months, Aarav had steady work, enough to contribute to the household. But he didn't stop there. Late at night, he watched YouTube tutorials, enrolled in free online business courses, and learned about entrepreneurship. He wasn't earning much yet, but something more valuable was growing: self-worth. One afternoon, while fixing a broken oven at a local bakery, he struck up a conversation with the owner, a spirited young woman named Meera. She was impressed by his knowledge and asked if he had ever considered making custom machines for small businesses. That sparked something in Aarav. Most vendors around him used outdated, bulky, inefficient equipment. What if he could build low-cost, energy-efficient alternatives? For the next 6 months, Aarav worked on a prototype, a compact dough kneader powered by a simple motor, easy to assemble and repair. He tested it at Meera's bakery. It worked better than expected. Soon, 3 more shops requested one. Aarav's tiny workshop was now a hive of activity. He hired 2 local boys to assist him, boys who had dropped out of school due to poverty. He taught them patiently, just like life had taught him. By the end of the year, Aarav had sold 50 units of his machine. His small business, now called Strive Tech, became the talk of the local press. An article titled, "The Boy Who Turned Rejections into Innovation," went viral. Suddenly, people who had once ignored his resume were calling him. Investors showed interest, but Aarav wasn't looking for validation anymore. He had already found it in the smile of his mother, in the joy of the boys he trained, and in the satisfaction of building something real from scratch. Still, he knew he had more to give. So, he partnered with an NGO and launched a program to train underprivileged youth in basic mechanical skills. His workshops filled quickly. Young people who had lost hope found purpose again. His biggest moment came when he was invited to speak at a youth leadership summit. Standing on stage, Looking at thousands of eyes filled with expectation, Aarav spoke not of machines, but of struggle. "People talk about success like it's a destination," he said, "but success is just a side effect of perseverance. You see, my struggle didn't end when I got my first customer. It didn't end when I built my first machine. It never ends. Struggle is not the enemy. It's the sculptor of strength. Every tear, every rejection, every failure shaped me. And if you're going through your own storm right now, I want you to remember this." He paused, letting silence build like thunder. "Your struggle is your strength. Don't run from it. Use it." The applause thundered through the auditorium. But what touched Aarav most was a letter he received later that evening, from a young boy who had been about to quit school. The boy wrote, "I watched your speech. I'm going to fight, like you did." Years passed. Strive Tech expanded across multiple cities. Aarav became one of India's most respected young entrepreneurs, yet he never forgot where he came from. He still fixed things himself. He still kept his father's diary by his bedside. One day, standing outside a government school where his program had just started a new training center, Aarav saw a boy sitting alone under a tree, crying. He walked over and asked, "What's wrong?" The boy replied, "I'm just not good at anything. I try, but I always fail." Aarav smiled gently, handed the boy a notebook, and said, "Write your struggles here. One day you'll look back and realize they were the reason you became strong." Aarav's journey wasn't a fairy tale. He didn't wake up rich. He didn't have it easy. But he had what most people overlook: the courage to continue when everything screamed at him to quit. We all carry wounds, some visible, some buried. But in those wounds lie our greatest weapons. Struggle chisels away the ego, the excuses, the weakness, until what remains is pure, unbreakable strength. So the next time you find yourself on your knees, remember Aarav, remember his father's diary, and remember this: your struggle is your strength. Don't curse it, embrace it. Let it shape you into something unstoppable.